So, hello people. He's very cold, so this will help that my video is shorter because this is important. But I can I wonder I guess I can make it short. I was wondering why notation programs are so complicated. What the hell is this? After you learn some things, then okay, it's easy. But the reality, the experience of the notation program is very complicated. I am born in '86, so I can believe that for people who came later, maybe they got easier with this, maybe. But I am also not so ignorant of technique. But maybe my first video game was the Atari, and your first video game, maybe if you are younger, was the PlayStation. So I was wondering why so unintuitive. If you was already a composer before the experience of notation on computer, do you understand the difference? For people who need to do this translation from real life models to virtual models, so this is especially artificial. The experience is very artificial, and if you observe, I love this. If you observe the more older people who speak without problems about these programs and use these programs without any problem, they are kind of more logical people, and I have my doubts if they are the most prolific composers. Okay, the prolific contemporary composers that I know, they write with the hand yet, and the old composers. Okay, the old composers, they write with the hand. So for example, the Wolfgang Grimm write with the hand, and many other examples, but Wolfgang Grimm is more famous, at least here in German. And despite of his bad works, he composed one of the best works I heard. Actually, I guess he has so many works that I would not like to hear, but he composed this Jagd, and now I forgot. Sorry, and it's a very 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 good music. Okay, so the old composers, they also managed to use computer programs for notation, but it's still a process that's very artificial, and I wonder why so. The answer is that all these notation programs, they have a historical root in the process of musical engraving, and musical engraving is not exactly the same as just musical notation. Musical engraving is a special case of musical notation. Okay. When we speak about musical notation, the first idea is to just write the music, to not forget it. Okay, that's the real experience of musical notation. And musical engraving is the notation of music in its final version, and with an aiming to a publication. Okay, So you want to engrave music in a very professional way, and in a way that will sell also the most. And so of course the engraving will be clear, will be somehow charming. So you have a good appearance, etc. And then of course at the beginning of this development, it was way much easier to sell a program to someone who has the whole patience to learn all the process and do the engraving on computer, than to sell someone who already writes very fast with the hand. And this contradicts the experience of the composer, because the experience of the composer is that he wants to write in a very intuitive way. Okay, and at the beginning of this of the development of these softwares, of course they have to make a choice to do something so professional as possible, but they cannot expect that the program is already used in a very spontaneous way. You understand? And there was people, of course, who was willing to learn this, because the people from the engraving, they have a lot of patience. And that's the beautiful part of musical editing. Okay, composers have patience too, but they have an astronomical patience to do with the hand, a handwriting that is quite perfect for the musical engraving. In many cases, there is also this, that you have professional handwriters in such how it's called companies for publishing of music. Now at this time, I don't know how it's going, but there was something of this, and I saw some videos that are of 1995 or something like this, where people still made the choice to write with the hand in a very professional way and to publish this. Do you understand? Because at the end of the day, the result was better somehow. So what you have now is the development of these softwares, and they are more and more close to the spontaneous experience of notation. That's wonderful. That's absolutely a huge phenomenon that is not, in my opinion, still not well observed. There is some academic studies on this, but it's too specialized. And the real outcome of the real consequence of these developments for the musical composition, this is not clear discussed in a more standard basis at the university, for example. This is something that you speak with your friends sometimes or with your teacher, but there is not a systematic reflection about the consequences of this development of notation softwares towards an spontaneous experience of the musical notation, and how it integrates with other features that will influence your musical composition, your view of composition, and your view of what means a musical technical compositional technique. Okay, this is a field that is new, and you are hearing about this here now. So you give at least your like. And so the basic answer is this: they have this root in the engraving process. And what happens now is that there is a confusion, because the programs, they have some ambiguity. They got very good in the sense that they are more spontaneous. Okay, some things are more intuitive. I believe this. But what this is my feeling. They didn't do the categoric change to the real spontaneous notation of music. There is only I don't know when was the first attempt of handwriting on the iPad or something like this, but the only signs of a recognition of the necessity of spontaneity in the notation process, the first sign was given with this idea of handwriting. Okay, so they started the handwriting, and I spent a lot of time researching this, because it was clear for me that if I buy a program or a device for this, I will have to learn it, etc. And I don't want to lose the time changing things, etc. And I want something that will allow me to do any composition that I want. Not that I get used to a kind of writing, and then later you cannot do something that you want anymore, or that you wait for an update or so. So I did some research on this, and the conclusion is that there is many how is called fallacies regarding this development yet, and this is natural. So, for example, the handwriting is wonderful. You can do on iPad, etc. But at this moment, still at this moment, maybe this year is a little bit better. But in general, at this moment, it is still just a marketing tool. Is something that is charming, okay, to sell, and something that is good for some kind of music. And if you have the patience to learn or to deal with the bugs, etc. But it's still not a professional spontaneous experience, okay? And the reason for this, in my opinion, for this atraso, for how is it called in English? The reason why this is still not advanced as it could be, in my opinion, is because this history of doing software that is reviewed by people of the musical engraving, producers, nerds, I don't know, people who have time to understand, to learn these things and to deal just with this. Do you understand the difference? I have the impression that the software developers of notation programs, and even the best one I know is of the Logic Pro. The people don't talk about this as notation program. I just cannot tell it still officially, because I need to do some comparisons that I still want to do with the Notion stacks. So on my research, Notion and Logic Pro are the best. But I cannot say it officially, do you understand? Because I would like to show examples why is the best. And for now, you can just have my opinion that Finale and Sibelius sucks. Sorry. For me, just the experience of being at the Sibelius sucks. Do you understand? You can call it how it's called, discrimination or something like this. I want to come back to Sibelius to try again, but and they have some wonderful functions. That is true. But the price you pay to get to these functions, I mean the mental price, I don't know. So you have these programs, as even the best programs, what I tell to you, it's missing a contact with actual musical composers of high level musical notation. I guess they get too satisfied with I don't know, just writing a sonata of Mozart on computer and looking very good. And I don't know if you take 30 minutes to write 20 measures, they are satisfied with this, okay? Or they are satisfied with the fact that you play on the MIDI and it appears the score on the screen. But then later you want to do the adjustments of the score that you played. So you begin to wonder what would be easier, that you just write on the paper and then write on the computer, or that you use this feature. What happens is that the features, they are useful for some situations, but what happens is that they are more they are still something that is attractive. They are something that makes you buy or make you curious, or something that's interesting that you have fun with. But when it comes to the professional experience, they are not 100% reliable. Okay, I know that's just a development, and we have to be thankful to have patience. I know this, but I think that contact with musical composers who have a deeper experience of handwriting and musical notation would make this software something that you can call professional. For example, Notion Sex you cannot call professional because you don't have autosave. For me, that's a huge amateurish thing. So I lost some compositions in this sense. Okay, you think, okay, you should always save your composition, but if you get used with the autosave function in many programs today on Mac, so how can you miss such an important thing? Do you understand? And there is also not a undo list. So for example, if you undo something and save, I don't know such things. If you undo many actions, then you save it by mistake. Then you want to recover this mistake, so you don't have, for example, version 1 or version 2. Something that the Logic Pro has already, and this is also this deserves a video, because Logic Pro is not only a highly professional musical program, but I think it is one of the best softwares ever. I am not of the computer field or studies, but I have this impression, because it's a program that, so to say, reads your mind. You understand? And it's a program that make you more intelligent, that gives you, that show you a kind of musical infinite. Do you understand? And this feeling is what you want when you are dealing with a professional program. And what is missing is the musical version, the notation version of such level of quality. Okay, you want a high-level notation program, and so basic things are missing. I don't know. This Sibelius has the auto save if I remember well, but Notion Sex doesn't have, and it's not only about this. You have some other evident things that are missing. So, for example, Okay, that's maybe not evident for a jazz musician. Or maybe for jazz musician, for a Frank Zappa. What is evident here and it's missing? For example, you cannot just put an image inside the score. You cannot interrupt a score and do a screenshot or do a photo of something that you wrote on your notebook, on the paper, and put this on the screen. So why not? So these are things that for a composer who actually works on the paper and has a routine of writing music in many kinds of music, this is something that is, on my opinion, very obvious. That you should allow the user to deal with indeterminacy, and that's a key word on the flaws of these notation programs. To deal with indeterminacy. So, for example, in many programs, you cannot. You need to struggle to delete a measure. Now in Notions X is easy. So see how ridiculous this is. This is one of the reasons why I bought the Notions X, because it was easy to delete a measure and to compose without determining the measure. You understand? So the programs, they are hell for who deals with indeterminacy, and the act of creation, of good creation, of perfectionist creation, is full of indeterminacy. So that's more one reason why I think. So people, actually what happened is that the phone died. So this was a very bad experience. What I still want to say is that I tested Sibelius, Finale, Notion 6, Logic Pro, MuseScore, Symphony Pro, Notate Me, Dorico, a lot. And Logic Pro, Notion 6 and MuseScore I use it a lot, and also Symphony Pro. So, but this is not an analytic comparison and review yet, but this is my impression regarding the most evident issues and most important that I experienced in the practice, okay, for a long time, and for my style of composition. But anyway, I should come back and speak more about this concept of indeterminacy. So we have to be able to integrate better drafts, images, analysis in the process of notation on computer. And for example, an integrated analysis of music in the notation program. These possibilities. Okay, for you have a free handwriting. So for example, you have pseudo handwriting at the moment, and you don't have a free handwriting. So why not? Okay, I know that it's a hard work to do these programs. I believe totally, but I am just saying what is the direction and the reasons why this is somehow a slow progress, and it could be a faster progress if you observe everything that you have in the world of technology now. So thanks for watching. Leave a comment and subscribe. And I am curious to see how would be the next video on this matter. Okay, so ciao.